Welcome to the Dark Diary. TikTok. With 1.5 billion active monthly users, TikTok has taken over the world. It has been downloaded more than 3 billion times. This means that almost all of us have been addicted to the sudden dopamine rush that TikTok gives us, which can make you scroll for hours. In 2022, TikTok users averaged 95 minutes per day on the app, compared to 62 minutes in 2020. This makes me concerned about what's going to happen to our upcoming generations, who I see nowadays literally babies getting phones by their parents, just so that they can live in peace while the baby's brain is being unleashed to the sudden dopamine rush in such a nascent stage. On the other hand, TikTok has made our lives easier. We can get highly entertaining and educating content in the niche that we are interested in. It has opened up the new influencer economy to a degree that is arguably way more than Instagram, and of course the devil overlord YouTube. Why do I say that? According to data from Upfluence, micro-influencers on the platform charge considerably less but achieve engagement rates of around 18%. Which is way higher than other platforms. Instagram had an engagement rate of 3.86%, whereas YouTube's engagement rate unsurprisingly was 1.63%. This also makes TikTok the platform on which it was extremely easy to go viral, not just in the USA, but globally. This opened the world to a new, highly competitive yet rewarding influencer economy. Also, who can forget TikTok dropshipping? It's now almost another sub-industry within e-commerce business models because of its density and lucrative nature. Dropshippers, who were mostly 17 to 19-year-old broccoli-haired teens who just started posting videos consistently on TikTok, started growing viral, and a lot of them gained at least 6 figures on average on each of their campaigns. However, it was not always very easy to enter these markets because TikTok's algorithm shows the content you post only in the country you live in, not on the general app itself like on YouTube. As your content grows and you go viral, then it gets shown to the outside world. This is a great thing for people living in the US doing dropshipping. But for people living in other countries, let's say Sri Lanka, the Philippines, or the Middle East, wanting to dropship, their content goes to an audience that does not have a strong purchasing power compared to the American and British users. Anyhow, hundreds of people made a lot of money through TikTok in the coming future, as OpenAI is coming up with Sora AI, for which I'm very excited and afraid of. It would have been amazing to see what feature TikTok would eventually bring, leveraging that technology. But as we come to a crossroads with TikTok, as of April 2024, where the greatest protesters of freedom and free speech are going to ban it because of its Chinese origins, or let's say foreign adversary controlled application. It's obvious because of the many reasons I just mentioned earlier that it's going to probably have very disastrous consequences for some people and industries. To understand in detail why all of this is happening, we need to go back in time to understand TikTok's controversial history a little bit. TikTok originated from the Chinese app Douyin, which was created by the company ByteDance in September of 2016. Douyin was designed for the Chinese market and allowed users to create and share short-form videos, often featuring lip-syncing and dancing. In September 2017, ByteDance launched an international version of Douyin called TikTok. This new app was tailored for users outside of China and quickly gained popularity in markets like the US, India, and Europe. In November 2017, ByteDance acquired Musical.ly, a popular lip-syncing app based in Shanghai. Musical.ly had a sizable user base, especially among teenagers in the US and Europe. ByteDance merged Musical.ly with TikTok, combining their features and user bases to create a single platform. The US government confessed its trust that China could use its national security laws to access the significant amount of personal information that TikTok, like most social media applications, collects from its US users. The laws in question are quite broad, according to Western legal experts, requiring any organization or citizen in China to support, assist, and cooperate with state intelligence work, without defining what intelligence work means. Should Beijing gain access to TikTok's user data? One concern is that the information could be used to identify intelligence opportunities. For example, by helping China uncover the vices, predilections, or pressure points of a potential spy recruit or blackmail target, or by building a holistic profile of foreign visitors to the country by cross referencing that data against other databases it holds. Even if many TikTok's users are young teens with seemingly nothing to hide, it's possible some of those Americans may grow up to be government or industry officials whose social media history could prove useful to a foreign adversary. Another concern is that if China has a view into TikTok's algorithm or business operations, it could try to exert pressure on the company to shape what users see on the platform, either by removing content through censorship or by pushing preferred content and propaganda to users. This could have enormous repercussions for US elections, policymaking, and other democratic discourse. Multiple privacy and security researchers who have examined TikTok's app say there aren't any glaring flaws suggesting the app itself is currently spying on people or leaking their information. In 2020, the Washington Post worked with a privacy researcher to look under the hood at TikTok, concluding that the app does not appear to collect any more data than your typical mainstream social network. The following year, Leon Lin, a Taiwan-based researcher at the University of Toronto's Citizen Lab, performed another technical analysis that reached similar conclusions. TikTok has faced claims that its in-app browser tracks its users' keyboards entries and that this type of conduct, known as keylogging, could be a security risk. The privacy researcher who performed the analysis last year, Felix Croes, said that keylogging is not an inherently malicious activity, but it theoretically means TikTok could collect passwords, credit card information, or other sensitive data that users may submit to websites when they visit them through TikTok's in-app browser. There's no public evidence TikTok has actually done that. However, TikTok has said the keylogging function is used for debugging, troubleshooting, and performance monitoring, as well as to detect bots and spam. Other research has shown that the use of keyloggers is extremely widespread in the technology industry. That does not mainly excuse TikTok or its peers for using a keylogger in the first place, but neither is it proof positive that TikTok's product by itself is any more of a national security threat than other websites. Even by the standards of Congress, the past few weeks of April have been a lesson in hypocrisy. In April 2024, President Joe Biden signed legislation that will require TikTok's Chinese owner, ByteDance, to sell the app or face a ban in the United States, all over concerns that the Communist Party of China uses the app for surveillance. Yet just a few days earlier, Biden had renewed a law synonymous with American surveillance, Section 702. You may have never heard of Section 702, but the sweeping George Bush era gives intelligence agencies the authority to track online communication such as text messages, emails, and Facebook posts. Legally, Americans aren't supposed to be surveilled through this law, but from 2020 to 2021, the FBI misused Section 702 data more than 278,000 times, including to surveil Americans linked to the January 6 riot and Black Lives Matter protests. The mechanics of the ban take aim to app stores like those operated by Apple and Google. If they distribute or update TikTok, the federal government could impose civil penalties on them. Internet hosting companies will also be barred from helping to distribute or maintain TikTok. TikTok will still be available in the US for now, but the measure is likely to face legal challenges, and the Chinese government may try to block the sale or export of the technology. These issues could take months or years to resolve. Have any other countries banned TikTok? Yes, India did in 2020, costing ByteDance one of its biggest markets. The government there cracked down on hundreds of Chinese-owned apps, claiming in part that they were secretly transmitting users' data to foreign servers. Other countries and governments, including Britain and its parliament, Australia, Canada, the executive arm of the European Union, France, and New Zealand's parliament have banned the app from official devices. Taiwan's Minister of Digital Affairs recently declared TikTok a dangerous product representing a national security threat. But did you ask yourself, what are the implications of a TikTok ban in the United States? ByteDance generates substantial revenue from advertising on the platform. A ban in the US would cut off a major source of revenue, impacting ByteDance's financial performance and potentially its valuation as a company. Okay, so this part is not scripted because I think the video is gonna be quite long. This is just me speaking from my heart. What's going on is that the US government has been trying to ban TikTok for years now, and suddenly they got serious about it because of what's been happening in the American streets and universities where people are protesting in support of Palestine and what's happening in Gaza. TikTok is one of the very few platforms that the US does not have the authority to ban certain content on it, unlike Facebook and Instagram, which are owned by Meta, or even X/Twitter, which is owned by Elon Musk, who the US government also commands. Anyways, if you have reached this part of the video, please comment down below to let me know, and I hope you guys stay safe and protect your personal data, not only from TikTok, but from all social media platforms, especially the ones that the US government can access. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and huge thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this and stay tuned for more.